Welcome back to the podcast, Heal Without Harm. My name is Dr. Clayton Dir, physical therapist and the one bringing you the truth about the medical system. Today's podcast is going to be over 3 or 4 things that focus on longevity. If you're somebody who is wanting to live not only a long life, but a long health span, meaning you're healthy the whole time, and you want to stay independent, then this is going to be the podcast for you. There are going to be 4 simple, testable abilities that can help predict how well you'll move, work, and even play as you age. One of them is going to be carrying your body weight in a form of a farmer's carry. Another one is going to be dead hang, which is really focused on grip strength. The other one is VO2 max. We'll talk a little bit about that and how well your body's ability to convert oxygen into energy is, along with getting rid of CO2. And lastly, getting on and off the floor without your hands. So the reason these matter is because if you are able to perform these, then in general, it means that you have good muscle strength, grip strength, and cardiorespiratory fitness. These are all strongly associated with lower mortality rates, fewer falls, and better quality of life as people age. Now, lower mortality means you are less likely to die from, honestly, anything: a car wreck, cancer, a fall, whatever it may be. It's also going to tell me that you are going to have less falls, so you're less likely to fall and get injured. And even if you were to fall, you are less likely to hurt yourself of significance. I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty sure it's females specifically over 60. If you were to fall and fracture a hip, there is an over 30% chance that you will die in the next 6 months, just based on the stats. So hopefully that's something to wake you up a little bit. Lastly, the better quality of life. These will generally point in the direction of a better quality of life as you age. And so this is going to help you make a mental shift, and it'll clarify that. Instead of obsessing over tiny numbers on a lab report, we can focus on big functional capacities that affect almost everything you do in life. What I like about this is if you fail at this, or if you're not able to do these things, the process that you are going to have to go through to get the ability to do these things will help you build cardiorespiratory fitness, strength, muscle, and it's going to help you on all those labs. So if you have bad labs and you fail at these, then trying to get better at these will actually help out your blood labs. So it's a nice little self-course correction along the way. So the first one, can you carry your body weight for 1 minute? Can you put your body weight split between your 2 hands, and can you carry that for 1 minute while you're walking? So imagine you're holding heavy bags and walking around, carrying your body weight split between the 2 hands. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you have 75 pounds in each hand, and you have to go on a walk, and you have to hold that for 1 minute. This load This load trains not only your grip, your core, your hips, and balance, but I tell people, if it's too heavy for you, then you either need to gain strength or lose weight. That is just a straightforward statement. It's not to bash you in any capacity. But again, what I like about this is for someone like me who weighs 185 pounds, I have to put 95-pound dumbbells in each hand and walk around with that. Now I can make it easier on myself by losing weight, or I can improve my strength, my overall body strength, or my grip strength. Now, if you want to try this, first of all, be smart about it, be careful, don't do anything that you're not capable of, but find your weight, divide it by 2, and then put a dumbbell in each hand. 150-pound person, 75-pound dumbbell or kettlebell in each hand, and then go for a walk. If you're unable to do that, then pick a lighter weight and start doing shorter bouts. So again, 150-pound person, maybe you're picking up 40 pounds in each hand and you're walking for 30 seconds. Rest for a minute or 2. Repeat for 3 sets. This is a great one to test overall strength, balance, stability, and core strength. Test number 2. Can you dead hang for 2 minutes? Oh, sorry, let me back up. On the grip strength one, for females, you only have to do 75% of your body weight. So again, if you're a 150-pound person, we would take 150 times 0.75. I'm not sure the number on that. We'll say it's 110 pounds. Divide that by 2. You have a 55-pound dumbbell in each hand. Men, it's your full body weight. Longevity test number 2. Dead hang for 2 minutes. For ladies, 90 seconds. The goal of this test is just for you to hang from a bar with straight arms as long as you can, ultimately. I will say at the beginning, This is true grip strength test. About halfway through, you'll learn that this turns into a little bit more of a mental test. Are you willing to put up with the pain? Make sure your bar is not too slippery, and if you want to use chalk, you're more than welcome to. What this tests is your grip strength, but more specifically your grip endurance, but it also requires you to have overhead mobility, good shoulder strength, good shoulder stability. It'll provide a little bit of spinal decompression, which is cool, but we know that grip strength in general is strongly associated with lower mortality and better overall health status. We already kind of covered what those are. So if you want to do this test, what I would do is start a timer, just let it roll, and grab onto a bar and hang as long as you can. If you cannot do that, then record as long as you can. Maybe it's 45 seconds. And then every day or every other day, you can hang for 10 to 30 second bouts for 2 to 3 sets until you can reach, or until that gets easy, and then start adding time. Next test, which is number 3, longevity test. Number 3, have a solid VO2 max. Most people are unable to estimate this on their own. But if you have any sort of a smartwatch, it'll give you a good estimate of what this is. The reason I say you might want to have a good VO2 max is because your body needs to have, your heart and lungs specifically are constantly converting oxygen into energy. And as you get older, this is going to go down. You can do multiple different things like brisk walking, rucks, jogging, cycling, or even swimming in order to improve this. One thing that you can do on your own, though, to test your ability to withstand CO2 buildup, which is fancy terms of essentially the exhaust that your body puts off as it converts oxygen into energy, is to sit calmly, make sure that you didn't just get done with some sort of physical activity. If you want to try this while you're listening, you can, but be careful as to not pass out or do anything that's not smart if you are driving right now while you listen to this. But what the test is going to be is you're going to take a normal breath in through your nose, a normal breath out through your nose, and then you are just going to hold. So if your mouth is shut, as you breathe out through your nose, get done breathing out, plug your nose. See how long you can hold it. You should be able to make it about 30 seconds. Now, it's going to be very uncomfortable. It's going to get hard, but if you can make it to 30 seconds, you're considered, quote, normal or good normal. If you're only making it 10 to 20 or 20 to 30, this is something you may want to work on. Either improve your cardio or just every now and then breathe in, breathe out, plug your nose, and see how long you can hold it. You can build your tolerance to discomfort and your tolerance to CO2 buildup. This will overall help your VO2 max, but I would still suggest getting in 75 minutes per week of vigorous activity or 150 minutes of moderate activity. You know, those activity guidelines that are out there and have been for a long time, you should probably follow those. I do. And many of the people that come through my clinic as a physical therapist, I recommend them to them as well, as it can help pretty much everything. Longevity test number 4. This is a fun one. And this one touches a lot of people because if you're a kid, you should be able to do this. If you're a parent, you might want to be able to play with your kids. So you should be able to do this. And if you're a grandparent, you probably want to play with your grandkids. So you should probably be able to do this. The test is simple. Can you sit on the floor with your legs crossed? That's the starting position. So you're going to be sitting on the floor, legs crossed, and you're supposed to get up without using your hands or knees for support. You can't put your hands on the ground. You can't take a knee or anything like that. Can you just simply stand up and then sit back down without using hands or knees at all? This matters because there was a study done called the sit to rise test. And they noticed that for essentially every piece of support the person needs, it took off 5 to 6 years of their life. So if you have the ability to stand up and sit down without using your hands, it tells me that you've got great hip flexibility, knee strength, hip strength, overall balance, core strength, and mobility. It's something that catches a lot of different things. And if you can't do this, then you need to figure out why. Do your hips hurt? Do your knees hurt? Do you not have the flexibility? Do you not have the strength? Do you not have the range of motion? What is it? If you have questions on it specifically, please reach out to me. Instagram, DM, email, whatever it needs to be, reach out and I can help you identify the exact issue, and then you know exactly what to work on. As most of the time when people go through tests like this, they find out they're not as good as they want, but they don't know what to do. That is where I can come in. So if you're in the Wichita area, reach out. I can do a free 30-minute consult or a half price eval. Anyway, what I want to focus on to finish out for today is we covered 4 different things. Can you carry your body weight for 1 minute? Can you accumulate a 2-minute dead hang? For the females, it's 75% your body weight. And then for the dead hang, it's 90 seconds. Do you have a good VO2 max? you can refer to your watch, your smartwatch. You can go get a fancy VO2 max test, but you don't need to. You can simply do the breathe in, breathe out, and then plug your nose and essentially hold your breath and see if you can hit 30 seconds. Lastly, can you get off the floor without using your hands or your knees? If you fail one or multiple of these tests, please reach out, as I can provide the next steps on how to ultimately grow old, but grow capably old. Increase your health span, not just your lifespan. If you have any other questions, any pain or issue, please reach out to me and book either a free consult for 30 minutes or a half-price eval. I hope this is doing well for you guys. You guys have been amazing. I'm coming up on 1 year of this podcast, and I could not do it without your support. We'll see you later, guys. I hope you learned a little bit more how to heal without harm.